Hello everybody and welcome to Car Confections. Now I'm standing out here in the middle of the night for the all-new 2025 Nissan Armada. Now this of course is a very important SUV to the brand, perhaps the most important vehicle in their lineup. And tonight we're going to be doing a night review, which basically means we're going to take a look at all of the exterior and interior lighting, which normally you wouldn't see in a daytime review. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So as always, we'll start out the night review by what happens as you approach the vehicle. Now, this does not have any fancy animations or anything that's going to do with the headlights, so that is something to keep in mind. A lot of the competition does have that for this price point. However, we do have the walkway auto lock and unlock, so as I approach the vehicle will go ahead and just sense my approach and unlock. As you can see, when I do walk up to it, the headlights will go ahead and turn on, the DRLs to give you that very signature look, and then we also have puddle lamps in the bottom of our mirrors. As you can see, it's actually a little picture of the Nissan Armada. How cool is that? I think that's a really, really nice and fancy touch. Additionally, the rear lighting is going to turn on, and we are also going to have a little bit of extra illumination as well. If I open up the doors, you'll see that the cabin also starts to illuminate as well with some of the ambient lighting. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on, but for now I'm going to go ahead and hop inside and start it up so we can get all of the exterior lights on. So starting out with the exterior design of this Armada, this of course is a very big deal for the Nissan brand. As I was saying at the very beginning, it's a very hot segment of vehicle, and this is an all-new product, and as such you do have a completely new front-end design for this Armada, and you'll really see that at nighttime. It has a very distinct look in the daytime, but perhaps even more distinct at night, and the reason for that is because all of your different lighting elements are going to be very visible at nighttime. Now we're not going to have any full light bars or anything, or an illuminated logo. However, what we do have are some really distinct headlights. So as you can see, we have this cool daytime running light shape that goes through here, intersects down into the lower unit as well, and it's going to make a really bold statement. Additionally, as far as the actual headlight itself is concerned, we have a projector LED high beam as well as the low beam. So as you can see, that's the low beam right now, and the high beam is down below. These are pretty bright headlights. I'll talk a little bit more about the headlight performance as we head into the inside and actually show you a video clip of it. As we drop down to the lower fascia, this is your LED fog light. That's something that a lot of car brands are actually kind of getting rid of, so I'm happy to see that we do keep the fog lights here on the Armada. And then if you check out this headlight over here, this is your turn signal indicator. It basically is the same shape as the daytime running light, and it's a nice amber color. Now moving past that, we do have 22-inch alloy wheels here on the Platinum Reserve. By the way, this is the highest end trim level in the Armada lineup. And if you want to know all about this vehicle and the trim levels and what is included for that price and etc., you can find that in our daytime review. We have covered this extensively. Be sure to check that out if you're looking to buy one of these Armadas. Now, as far as the mirrors are concerned, this is something that's very pertinent at nighttime. You'll notice that we do have heating, power folding, and we also have auto dimming here on the driver's side. That's a nice touch that they are including. It's not for both the driver and passenger side, but it's just the driver's side, which is, pretty nice overall for a mainstream vehicle. You can get the auto dimming on the passenger side in the QX80 though. As we walk around to the rear, we're going to have that very boxy, tough overall look to it. I think it looks fantastic in the daytime and also fantastic at night. Overall vehicle length is about 209 inches long, by the way. As far as the taillights themselves, you will see that we have a full-length LED taillight in the back. That's going to be included on your higher-end trim levels, and it kind of mimics the design that you're seeing in the front with that kind of bracket shape through there, and then the higher-end models are also going to get this piece that goes through the center section to give you a little bit of a more distinct look. As you can see, your turn signal is going to be an amber color in the back, and you have LED reverse lighting. Your license plate lighting is also LED, so as far as exterior lighting, it's all LED. I'm very happy to see that. Now, if I open up the cargo area. There's a button to do that under the lid. This is what your cargo area looks like at nighttime. As you can see, they do have a nice bright LED light that shines down from here. There's not going to be anything in the tailgate, so keep that in mind. But overall, it's certainly bright enough to do whatever you need to do here in the cargo area. We're also going to have a power outlet and then illumination for our power folding third row buttons as well, as the air suspension. But guys, that pretty much wraps up the exterior of this Armada at nighttime. Let's go ahead and dive into the interior. But first, if you're new here, we're brothers and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We started young, and since then we have reviewed over 2,000 vehicles at every price point.
No matter what you're looking for, from humble to high-end, we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family.
Let's learn a lot and have some fun with all the latest cars.
And now let's check out the interior of this Armada. Arguably, that's more important than the outside because you're going to be spending time inside the cabin. So, as you can see, as I unlock the door, the ambient lighting will go ahead and turn on. I do have the setting actually turned off for the door lights. I believe that's right here. Yeah, so if I had that turned on, that's what your interior illumination looks like. It is very bright if you have that setting turned on. So as you can see basically the entire cabin, and you have no trouble whatsoever getting in and seeing where you are going. Now, getting in itself is pretty easy because we do have running boards. They're not going to be power running boards, though. Then as I shut up the door, no animation on the screen or anything like that, but it does feel very solid inside of here, so let's go ahead and start it up. Now let's go ahead and transition into a first-person perspective for the rest of this night review, so we can take a look at the individual details. Now, as you can see, we have a lot of screens right as you start the vehicle up. Front and center, we have a dual 14.3-inch screen setup if you choose for one of the higher-end examples like this Platinum Reserve. Really crisp resolution in the daytime, really crisp resolution at nighttime, as you would expect. It also does have quite a bit of customizability as well. As you can see, you can put things in there like Google Maps in the center display. Now, up in the windshield itself, zoom in on that. You can see we do have a head-up display. It's a nice and vivid head-up display, although it kind of bugs me that the actual speedometer readout is off-centered for whatever reason. They put it on the right side to put navigation in the middle, but most of the time you don't have navigation going, so that's just a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. Now, as far as the headlights themselves are concerned, this is just the low beam. I'll go ahead and flip on the high beam so you can see that. As you can see, they're pretty good high beams. It illuminates all the way up there to that tree. Overall, of course, you have auto high beams, and overall, the headlight performance I found to be pretty good at nighttime. I have been in vehicles, especially at this price point, that have better headlights, especially on the luxury side of things. But for a mainstream vehicle, these are pretty good headlights. And the auto high beam functionality is a little finicky at times. It does turn off kind of erroneously just based on street lights. So I'd like for them to maybe improve the software a little bit. As we come back to the steering wheel itself, really nice leather. It's the premium leather here on the Platinum Reserve trim level. And then all of your buttons are going to be illuminated in a nice premium white color. The steering wheel itself is power tilt and telescoping, and you do have heating as well. Over there on the door trim, you'll see that we have some nice ambient lighting that runs on this lower edge. That's going to illuminate all of your window switches, which are also illuminated in that same white color. And then you have a couple buttons over here that are illuminated. More of the ambient lighting. And yeah, since we're talking about the ambient lighting, let's just go ahead and show you all of the lighting elements. As you can see over there in front of the passenger, you have a strip, and on the door trim, you also have it in the back seat area as well. And then as far as footwell lighting, we have a nice white illumination down here, as well as in our center pass-through. So overall, it's a nicely illuminated cabin. It's not overwhelming, that's to say the least. It could be a little bit more, but overall, I think it's a nice setup and, kind of enhances your overall experience inside the cabin. Of course, you can also change the ambient lighting color. I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. Now, in the center console, you will notice that we have LED illumination. That's certainly a nice thing. Not every vehicle will illuminate the center console, so I like to see that Nissan is paying attention to those details. We have 2 cup holders in front of that, a wireless phone charging pad. And then here is your shifter, just the push button style. D for drive, R for reverse. Let's take a look at the camera resolution at nighttime. Overall, pretty good resolution. It doesn't get too grainy at nighttime. I have seen slightly better resolution out there. It has a little bit of a grainy element to it, but the resolution overall is definitely satisfactory for most people. Then if we put the vehicle in park, I can show you the 3D view. For whatever reason, it does have to be in park for you to do this, but as you can see, that looks pretty good at nighttime as well, even as you spin around the vehicle. Now, one of the things I love about the Armada is the fact that we keep a lot of physical buttons, and that goes for our climate system. So all of this is going to be finished in a piano black with the white illuminated buttons. Really looks premium at nighttime, and guess what? It is super easy to use as well. So I love the physical controls. A lot of cars go to the complicated push buttons and the screens and all that. This is nice and refreshingly simple. We have heated seats as well as ventilated seats. As you can see, the buttons are red and blue for that. Here's your heated steering wheel. All of your temperature adjustments are made with these nice toggles there. This is your drive mode controller, and your 4-wheel drive settings are right there. You, of course, also have a trailer brake control. Up above that, we have our volume knob for the audio system. We have a Klipsch audio system on this. It's quite a good audio system, even despite only having 12 speakers. I've been very impressed with it this week. All right, let's look at the screen. The screen itself is going to be 14.3 inches over here as well. Really crisp resolution, as I was saying earlier. The software is also pretty smooth for the most part. We do have some really cool animations, and you're going to have things like Google built in. As you can see, runs very nicely, and like I said, great resolution. As far as some vehicle functions, you can find that in that little menu right there, such as interior lights. So as you can see, we have some accent lighting. That's in your footwell, so you can adjust the brightness of that. Not the color, but you can adjust the brightness. You also have the ambient lighting menu. You can turn it on and off independently for the front and the rear. And you can kind of pick these like different modes here and adjust the color. So if we want to make it a green color, red, whatever, there's a lot of different colors you can choose. I personally like the blue. Now heading up top, we have a auto-dimming interior mirror, HomeLink garage door openers. It's also the camera mirror. As you can see, the resolution on that is pretty much the same as the backup camera. A little grainy, but not bad at all. And then up at the top, here are our buttons for the interior illumination. It's all LED illumination inside, and it's a touch capacitive setup to open it, and then to turn it on. And then we do have an opening panoramic moonroof. Let's check out the rear seats quickly. As you can see, there's your interior illumination. So as the kids get in from soccer practice or whatever, they can definitely see where they're going. We have the captain's chairs on this model. Shutting up the door. As you can see, we have the ambient lighting strip going through here. Of course, you can also turn that off if you want it to be completely dark in the back of the cabin. Here's a look at the entire front of the cabin at nighttime. And then as far as controls go, here in the back, we do have heated seats. We have our own climate controls back here. All of that is adjusted via physical buttons. And, I like that it's nice in that white illumination. We also have white illumination for our USB ports as well. And there's a look at the full door trim with the little pocket lighting as well. Now, as far as the third row is concerned, that does not have any ambient lighting, so I would have maybe liked them to at least include a little strip back there. But you do have vents as well as the ability to power recline. Overall, what do I think about this Armada's lighting at nighttime inside the cabin? Well, I'd say it's pretty good. I would have maybe liked them to add a few extra special touches, but I understand they are probably reserving that for the Infiniti QX80. But certainly at the 80-ish $1,000 price point, this one's about 85 grand. There are luxury vehicles that include better ambient lighting, so just keep that in mind depending on what you are looking for. And guys, that's going to be it for our night review of this all-new 2025 Nissan Armada. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, which we hope you did, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you're going to get more night reviews like this, and you're also going to, of course, get daytime reviews, comparisons, and all the in-between. We do a ton of automotive content. I promise you won't want to miss out. Another thing you might not want to miss out on is going to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, the reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that'll connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealership negotiation and can really help the dealers to start competing on price. Once again, if you want to take advantage of that, we have a link in our video description. We also have a pinned comment at the top of this video. And guys, that's all for this night review. Thanks so much for tuning in, and if you're already a fan and subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies. Good night.